It took so long to start. We're live! Hello! I am Christine, and this is my channel, and I did this wrong. That's Jessie, and that's Kat, and this is the fucking live show discussion. Just so you know, there will be spoilers about the book thief today. We haven't watched the movie yet. I have half an hour left, but we haven't gotten a chance to watch the movie in full yet, so we won't be having like a full discussion about the movie, but we will be talking about everything in the book under the book sun. So, hashtag, we'll be taking questions with hashtag Booksplosion thief. Clever. And so on Twitter. So use that hashtag. Yeah, guys, introduce yourselves again.
Hi, I'm Jessie from the channel Jessie the Reader.
And I'm Kat from the channel Katie-tastic.
And this is the Booksplosion Book Thief Live Show. So we're going to start off like we usually do with our general opinions. Jessie, kick us off.
All right, I'm going to kick us off. I'm going to try to stop being so cheesy. This book was outstanding. I think the thing that stuck out the most to me about this book was the writing style. We have this like really unique perspective, that being death, and that was just really fascinating, and I loved reading from that perspective. And there's also just like such a realness factor with this story. We've also got this situation that was like a real thing that happened in time, but just the characters alone just felt so real, and you get so attached to them over time. And the ending was just heartbreaking, and just overall, I love this book so much, and I'm so glad that I finally read it.
Yeah, Jessie stole everything I was about to say. But seriously, the writing is what really impressed me with this. Like, I love the writing style. I loved the imagery and the descriptions. It had a bit of that like metaphorical feel to it, where it's not like literal, and it's just really beautiful writing. And the POV was super interesting because it's like a first-person point of view, but it's from Death, who is like omniscient. So we get to see like all the different angles and all the different feelings from all the characters in this, and it was just a really, really good narration for this story. It was just beautiful story, beautiful book. About time we read it.
It really is about time. I think I've had this for like 50 years on my bookshelf. I remember
been out for 10 years, Christine. God.
Well, like it was before I hauled book that I got this book. like a long time it's been sitting there. The writing style actually kept reminding me a little bit of Taharumathi in those books, Igniting Shatter Me. I was like, what is the first book called? The Shatter Me books. It's fair, and I really enjoy that. I just really liked seeing into these people's lives in this time period. I always love seeing how people dealt with this horrific historic event, and you don't really see from, well, I have seen from a little child's point of view, but it's nice seeing from this child's point of view and seeing, I don't know what I'm saying. I liked this book. I liked all the characters in it a lot. That's what I'm trying to get to. I love the papa and the mama and how she's really not what you think she's going to be. And like I was so surprised when like Max came in and she was immediately like, here, let me feed him. I thought she was going to have a problem with it. And I actually just started the movie, and as soon as she walks in, when he gets there, she's like, oh, we could report him. And I'm like, no,
Why'd they have to change that aspect of her?
Change that. I mean, she doesn't, but like, why would you even suggest it? Like,
seems kind of out of character.
Yeah, that was out of character. But I really liked it. I was really touched by the story, and I'm really glad I finally read it.
We did it, guys! We read The Book Thief.
Oh, are you guys 5 out of 5 stars from all of you?
Yeah, 5 out of 5.
I was like a 4.5 because like it was easy for me to put it down sometimes because of the way it's told. It's like shots from her life. Like we do have a lot of tension with the whole omniscient point of view where he can be like, the next 3 months were great for her, but the story covers 6 months, so just sit tight for the last 3 months.
I didn't like how he would always be like, just to let you get ready, everyone's gonna die in 90 days. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did you guys feel about him like spoiling character deaths?
yeah,
It was
I
like,
didn't like it.
I liked that because it wasn't about the spoiler. You know, we're seeing these
I know it's not about the, but the impact is different. It's just.
That's totally true. Like, I actually went back and reread some of the earlier chapters after I'd finished, because, like, in the beginning he's talking about, like, Death is talking about the first 3 times he saw her, like, the 3 events he saw her, and I was like, what are these deaths? Like, how did they match up with what actually happened? Yeah. And I kind of liked it.
Yeah,
they
I think.
should, like,
Sorry, go ahead. You
I was
go.
just saying they should offer like a spoilerless edition of the book. Like, you don't want to be spoiled while you're reading.
Yeah,
About most of the spoilers. Like, early when we first meet Papa, we hear like Death goes into this little like tangent where he's like, "Yeah, he escaped me once in World War I, and he will escape me later in World War II." And then he gets drafted, and like I was surprised by that. Then I was like, "Oh no, wait, yeah, I should have known that was coming."
yeah. I mean, I think I actually would give it 4 stars because not because I didn't like anything about the writing, but just because the story mainly. Like, because when I give 5 stars, I'm more on my emotional like attachment to the story, and I loved it. It really moved me, but I wasn't the whole time as in it as I like sometimes am in books. Like there were a lot of sections with Rudy and like getting beaten up and stuff like that. That I mean, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't as like, ooh, Rudy's getting beaten up again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Agreed. Shall we take? Here's a question that's kind of like basic, but we want to talk about who? This is from Y Gendiki. I don't want to say your name wrong, but Y Gendiki. She says, "Who's your favorite character from the book, and who is your least favorite character from the book?"
Hans was my absolute favorite character in this book. Like, I just loved him so much. I loved his relationship with Liesel. It's just so sweet. It was the best. I don't know about least favorite character, though.
I think my least favorite character was that woman who spit on people's doors, and like, we kind of sympathize with her, but I'm still like, why did you spit on their door?
Why were you spitting on their door?
Like, that's the thing is, even a least favorite character, like, all the characters are really well developed, and even ones that, like, you might not like at first, they have, like, depth to them and, like, layers, so you don't just outright hate them or anything. What about Hitler? Hitler's the worst.
Yeah, Hitler.
I don't really get to know him.
Is when Max is, like, envisioning boxing Hitler, because I could just picture Hitler, like, in a boxing ring. For me.
Yeah, I think my favorite was also Han. I loved him. He was the best.
So sweet.
I do really like a lot of the characters that we didn't like at first. We got more depth to. Like, that was one of my favorite things about the book. Like, I really thought I was gonna hate Mama. Like, I was set to hate her, and I didn't. I love also. You know who I also love? The mayor's wife. I thought that she was going to, like, adopt her at the end.
Well, that made me really happy in the end.
Let's see. Does anyone have a question?
I see one from Sophie Brown, and she just asks, "Did you cry at the end like I did?" Anybody cry?
Yeah, I mean, I cried. Did you guys cry?
No, I did not cry.
I almost did, but it wasn't at, like, the super, super sad part that I cried. Like, I was like, oh, this sucks, man. Like, just reading about, like, how everyone died horribly and how Liesel was, like, reacting to it. But what really got me was when she was reunited with Max.
Oh, that part got me, too.
I was just like, oh!
I cried, the first time I cried was when they came to check the basement, and everyone was so tense, and, like, it was so...
That was an anxiety-driven scene. Oh my gosh.
I was crying, sitting there listening to Liesel be like, because they couldn't go downstairs, and they were down there by themselves just checking the basement, and we didn't know if Max was, like, hidden well enough. And
I didn't realize at first that we didn't even have time to, like, like do our plans, come upstairs. I was like, wait, he's not upstairs, he's down there.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they're just here, and oh my god, it was so nerve-wracking, and I just couldn't imagine being in their position, and it was just horrifying. But then, when he was okay, I was like in tears by that, like, they're gone, it's okay. But at the end, I didn't cry when she was, I mean, I was kind of teary, but I didn't actually cry until I was like, till Max, till she, like,
Yeah,
and they're like,
reunion.
Or reunited, just like.
It's just, another thing I liked about the writing is how, like, it is broken up into so many sections, like, all the little pieces, like, I felt like that had some, like, impact and, like, made it kind of more powerful. And so the fact that there's, like, just that one sentence about how they, like, collapsed in a hug and crying, and I'm just like, oh, feels.
Oh, and when she got his, when he gave her the first book, actually, for her birthday, I was, like, got a little teary. It's, like, so nice. And when he was like, I didn't know it was your birthday, I would have gotten you something, I was like, what do you mean? Would have gotten you something. You could give her a hug. Oh my gosh. Let's see. What were your first impressions of her foster family? I just says challenged books.
Anybody want to go?
Not all at once, everyone.
Well, I at first, like, didn't know how this was gonna go. Like, because it could have gone the way easily that she, like, hated her foster parents. And that's usually what happens in stories with foster parents. I've never actually seen something that goes so right like this. Like, Hans was fantastic, and Mama loved her, and oh my god, you know when I cried? When Mama came to tell her that Max was, at school, that Max was...
Oh, yes, that scene, oh my god.
That was a fantastic scene. I loved it. And I love that she did with the yelling at her like she had told her earlier. Like, yell, everyone will believe you.
Yeah. Like, at first, I didn't really like Mama because she was, like, aggressive and, like...
So much cursing. Like,
but you start to learn that that's her personality and that, like, she does that because she actually does love Liesel. But in the beginning, I was really wondering, I was like, why did these people end up with Liesel? Like, was it just for, like, the paycheck from the gut? Like, what's going on? Like, why would they adopt her if Mama is, like, just going to complain about her being there the whole time and, like, be mean to her?
Yeah. Something I really liked about Liesel's character that I actually found really interesting was that she's not, like, your typical, like, good girl who likes to read and stuff. She, like, fights people all the time, and she steals stuff, like, they steal fruit all the time, and she steals books out of the woman's window. Like, that's stealing. And I mean, like, she kind of gets excitement off of it, you know? Like, she gets a kick out of it. And it's really interesting. And she stares all the time, like her parents do and stuff. And it was just a really cool aspect to her because she's different than most people you see that are protagonists in their story and stuff. But in the movie, which I started, she's not like that.
She's not?
She's not like, she doesn't have that edginess.
But that's, like, a huge part of her character is, like, she's as tough as the boys and, like...
Yeah, I mean, like, she does punch that one kid who called when they're calling her stupid, but it's not the same. Like, it's not the same.
That's not the same. One of the, like, scenes that, like, made me feel like, okay, I love this main character was after that fight scene when the nun sees, like, the guy beat up and she makes all the boys show their hands because she's trying to find out who.
Yeah.
And all their hands are fine, and then Liesel's like, it's me.
And I love how she's always like, whatever, I can take a beating. Like, I thought I was going to get punished, but I just got to kick up the ass. When she's lashed, she's just like, yep.
That's another day in the life.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. Oh, here's someone talking about the spoilers. We kind of talked about that. How does this compare? Herondale's for Life says, how would you compare this to other World War II books you've read? I mean, how many other World War II books have you guys read? I feel like I've read Number of the Stars, and I've read...
Which one is Number of the Stars? Is that by Lois Lowry?
It is. It was wonderful.
Okay, that's the one that I've read as well.
Yeah, that was great. I read it like in 5th grade or something.
Yeah, I don't remember it at all, but I remember reading it. So.
I remember she like hid something in her basket. We just read Salt to the Sea. I think all three of us.
Yeah.
And Miss Peregrine's has some like World War II scenes and stuff.
Yeah. We haven't read much.
All these books cover such different aspects of it. Like we
Salt
just
like a completely different perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, Salt to the Sea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same war, but
different side of the world here.
Yeah, different area.
No.
I read that one. Did you guys read the one in Poland with the kid who puts the gold on his sled? Oh my God, what is that book? I don't remember, but I read it in school. I liked that book, but it's another one from a whole different point of view because it was from in Poland, and there was like, Hitler had taken over, and it was horrible.
Oh, I have read another one, but I can't remember the name of it.
I'm trying to...
Something in the Attic? Something in the Attic?
Oh,
what's it called?
I'm going to say like Shel Silverstein's A Light in the Attic. I'm trying to Google Poland child.
It would bother me if I can't hear that.
Does anyone know what book I'm talking? Snow Treasure! Is this it? Yeah, Nazi occupied. I think so. Yeah, I think it's called Snow Treasure. I read that one.
I haven't even heard of that one.
I think that's it. I'm trying to find an image of it.
I haven't read a lot of World War II stuff. I mean, I haven't read a lot of historical stuff in general.
Oh, I've read Night by Elie Wiesel. I forgot about that book. Have you guys read that one? I read it in school.
What is it? How does it? What's like the plot?
I think it's like a true story by like a survivor, if I remember correctly.
Interesting. I remember a survivor came to my school once and told us like how she survived with her mother's, like she had her mother's diamonds, and she was in a camp, and every time they inspected, she would have to swallow them and then like get them out of her crap and then clean them and swallow them again. And it was just horrifying. Boy. Let's see. Does anyone have a question ready? Oh, we also, if you guys have any historical fiction recommendations that take place during World War II, I really enjoyed these books, and if you have one, leave in the comments, please.
I definitely want to check out Rita's other books, Rita Sepetys'.
Yeah, me too.
One of them is the main character of her other book is related to one of the characters in Salt to the Sea.
Oh.
Yeah, one of them takes place in the
I saw that and I was like, that might be a spoiler, but just some in there.
Yeah.
Interesting. I have a question here. If you could steal one book, what one would it be, and which one of Liesel's books would you want to read?
Which one of Liesel's books, or if we could steal books, like what time period? We're talking right now?
Any time period. What arc would you steal?
What arc? I would steal Harry Potter, the Cursed Child. Duh.
Yes.
I steal Last Hours, the first book too. Steal it off Cassie's computer. What about you guys?
I don't know. I need more information about how this theft is taking place. I need to figure out how to plan this before I can even think of what book I'm going to go for.
Well, you need to know who you're targeting so you can.
Well, exactly. Am I breaking into a publishing house, and I'm breaking into like the place that prints the book?
Okay, here, I'll set up this scenario.
Am I hacking the author's computer and just downloading a copy? Like, what am I doing here?
Okay, if your whole bookshelf was set on fire, what book would you save?
Harry Potter.
You could only save one.
Harry Potter. Gallows.
Kat, how about you?
Carry on. My first Harry Potter, my old that battered up one, just because I'm slightly sentimentally attached to it. Like everything else, I can replace.
I could steal more than one. I could hold more than one book. I'd take.
But you can only steal one.
I think all my OG Harry Potters. What about you?
Probably Miss Peregrine's. Even though I could easily get another copy if I wanted.
Yeah, I was like, that one's still in circulation.
Does he not have that memorized yet?
Hey, you guys know how bad I was at the trivia for that book. So.
Let's see. Everyone who's read this book has their favorite Rudy moment. What was yours? This is from Alex at Basic Llama.
Basic Llama.
I
have a favorite.
Rudy moment.
I'm just still mad about the ending.
I like the ending moment.
Yeah.
Like, finally, he gets his kiss. Jesus. Just like...
Dead.
Dead!
No, but I really like that. I love that Jesse Owens story.
Yeah, okay. That was the best part. And, like, the running jokes throughout where it's like, aren't you the Jesse Owens kid?
I love...
That's me.
Yeah, and I love with the bread, when he just came up with the idea that he wanted to give them bread like her dad did.
Yeah.
I just love that he was opposed to Hitler. Like, when he was in all these Hitler youth groups and he was training with them, and he still... Oh, no! I love when they ask him when Hitler's birthday is, and he's like, Christmas! And he's like, Easter Sunday! Oh, that's funny. That's when he got beat up. Did you guys have any more? Let's see.
I can't think of any other moments besides the Jesse Owens moment.
Yeah.
So many, like, he went in the water and rescued the book. I couldn't believe he did that. I mean, I was like, get out of the water. After just reading Salt to the Sea, I was like, get out of that freezing water! Get out of that freezing water!
I just really liked his friendship with Lisa overall. Like, there were so many little scenes that we got of just them being friends. Like, they call each other names, but I don't know, it was cute. I like that.
How is he in the movie so far?
He's cute, but he just looks younger than I always pictured him. But when he goes for the book, he dives in the water, and I was like, you cannot dive in that freezing water. It's enough that you got your like waist wet. But he's cute. I like him in the movies. It's just like there's not as much focus on him, and I guess when he does the Jesse Owens thing, he's kind of just smeared with mud, but he's not like covered. Like I pictured him completely covered in charcoal, like completely. But I guess that's like too black facing for a movie.
Right.
Yeah, because like in the book, wasn't his dad like, how did it get in your ear? Like it's literally everywhere.
Everywhere, because like, you know when you picture a little kid doing that, you picture him like rolling around in the mud and like getting it everywhere or something. But yeah, it was a little different than I imagined it, but they did have that scene. Let's see.
What about when he was trying to steal the biggest potato and he was like getting caught and the teacher was like vouching for him? He's like, he's really poor. He has 8 siblings. Like, just let him have the potato.
Yeah. Were you guys all super nervous every time they went, like, trying to steal fruit? I was like...
I was like, they're going to get caught this time. It's going to happen.
I know. Oh, God. It was so nerve-wracking.
I wasn't that nervous about that. I was, ever since we saw that, like, bit of foreshadowing, it was, like, in the middle of the book, too, where it's like, Rudy's going to die.
Yeah.
When he was in a scene, I was so nervous. I was like, oh, this is where it happens. This is where it happens.
Yeah, I thought it was actually going to be when they left the bread and, like, they were running and they got separated, because I thought he died in, like, a weird way. That's what it sounded like, but he just died in the explosions at the end. It was so sad. I just, when they came to get him, to take him to that, like, elite training or whatever, I thought that was going to be it. Like, I always thought he was going to die.
Oh, I was also really nervous when he went back to get her shoes. They had left them in the house or whatever.
God.
That scene, oh my gosh.
It's like so many times there's like they could have gotten caught.
See, that's why I kind of liked the spoiler thing and don't feel like it was really spoilers, because it got us all anxious and we didn't know what was going to happen or how it was going to happen.
I would have been anxious anyway.
And doesn't Death address the spoilers? Isn't he like, I'm giving away the end?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does.
That's the journey.
He does it at the end, like, more prominently, like, when he's like, everyone's gonna die in 90 days. Sorry to tell you. But it doesn't really matter. That's not the point. But I didn't like that he spoiled us about how, like, Rudy'd never get his, like, cute little kiss, because they said that he would die, not never having been kissed by her. And I was like, this is so sad.
Yeah.
At the end, when he was, like, being like, I love you, wake up, wake up. I was like, no. Very upsetting.
That's what like, this book, it was a really great book, but, like, that part just bums me out. When everyone, Papa was dead, and, like, just, I can't.
I know. All the feelings.
Oh my gosh, you know in the book how when Max asked her for the weather, she comes down with this, like, really cool description of the weather. Like, there's a rope of cloud leading to the sun or something. And in the movie, when they do that, she just says it's cloudy, and he goes, no, use your eyes, like, think through your eye. Like, he tries to, like, lead her into a more metaphoric vision of it, and I'm just like, no, the whole thing, people does that on her own.
Yeah.
The whole point was that he asked her how the weather was, and she gave him an answer that, like, only an 11-year-old, like, with an imagination would give.
Yeah. I was just
Heaven
like,
forbid they let a female be a complex character in a film. Like, what the heck? I can't.
Have that.
I have another question from Kelsey at foxface_rules. She asks, what relationship of Liesel's did you think was the most meaningful and why?
Max is probably. I mean, Hans was great too. Yeah, Papa taught her how to read.
I mean, she has so many meaningful relationships, it's hard to choose just, like, one. Like, every relationship she has is, like, a meaningful one, I think.
Like, not just taught her how to read, but, like, he was such a good parental figure for her, and, like, really needed that, and...
Yeah, especially, like, when she first arrives at the house and she's, like, having all those nightmares and stuff, like, he's the one to, like, help her through that time, you know?
Yeah.
He stayed up every night, like, to read to her, and, like, even when she's like, I don't think you need to read to me anymore, and he was, like, kind of hurt, but he's like, okay, it's about time, and he's like...
I mean, I really like that she had Max there, because when you're a child and people are telling you these things about, like, Jewish people and communists, like, it's so easy to just believe it because you don't know any better, and to have him there and humanize it for her made it, could have made all the difference in her perspective there. The whole situation, like, it's so weird reading about this and, like, actually knowing it's true and imagining this happening. It's I can't believe this happened less than 100 years ago, and we...
I was just thinking about, Hamilton. I was like, I can't believe Hamilton, like, this actually happened! Oh my god!
That's a different story.
I was thinking about something historical that I was like, whoa, that happened. Hamilton. Have you looked at that yet, Jesse?
No.
Hamilton!
I resisted for so long, but, like, it's so good. How are we not convinced you yet?
I got
She's tried everything.
I'm so excited.
You got tickets? That's exciting.
Tickets. I got it, like, the hour before the Grammys started, because I was like, they're all gonna be this.
Yeah. I mean, they were already hard to get, so I can't imagine, like, how hard they are.
In San Francisco in March of 2017, so get on that waitlist.
Yeah, I'm just excited because I'll get to see, like, the original cast.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I'm excited. My mom got it for me for my birthday because it was, like, expensive tickets. I was like, Mom, you really want to go?
I've just been watching, like, bootleg clips on YouTube.
I don't want to be spoiled. I've never... Okay, this is completely changing the subject from the book theme. But I've just never done this listening to the soundtrack before actually visualizing it. So I visualized this whole story in my mind. And then when they performed at the Grammys, it was like, whoa. It's like you get to see who's talking and all the parts you've memorized. And it's like mind-blowing.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. I've listened to it many, many times now. But, like, every time I listen to it, there's, like,
something new, right?
And, like, something complex that I realize are, like, connections between different songs. It's a masterpiece. I can't.
Yeah.
So, back to the book, Thief.
To the book.
This question...
Also, I would call this a masterpiece as well, because this was a really, really good book.
Anyone who's just joining us, we're taking questions using the hashtag BooksplosionThief on Twitter. So send in your questions that way, and we be taking them.
I have a question from Wicked West Books, and she asks, did anyone listen to the audiobook, and what did you think of the narrator?
Me!
You guys, yeah.
I did too.
Not all of it, but I love
the narrator, yeah. No, I think the narrator did a really good job. It's like I didn't even notice I was being read to a lot of the time. It just feel you're in the story, so I think it was great.
I think it was a really good book to listen to as an audiobook because of just its death telling you this story, so it really works in that context.
But what I really didn't realize until I opened the book was like how it's told. Like there's sections of this and like this, and then there's pictures that I didn't even know existed until like right before we went live, and that's like, look at the pictures.
That's why I switched back and forth between audiobook and physical books. Like I wanted to read some of the physical book to get the feel for like how it was broken up and all these little notes and stuff. Because that's a really interesting format too.
Yeah. I was gonna say something. Oh! Someone asked us which of Liesel's books we would want to read. Which one would you guys?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. That question.
I want to read the Book Thief.
I want to read The Whistler. I feel like that one sounded really creepy and interesting.
Yeah, that one did.
But I'm so upset that her book was taken by death, and then no one got to read it. I mean, we're reading it now, if we think about it. But like,
I was like, technically, aren't we reading it?
Like, I cried knowing that her papa was never going to get to read her book, and that what's her name, the Frau Herman or whatever the mayor's wife's name was never going to get to read her book, and she promised her that she'd show it to her when she wrote something, and it's just really upsetting.
Yeah. I want to know more about what happened in Liesel's life afterwards. Like, we get like this huge time jump to where she dies as a very old lady, and reflect on her life, her husband and kids. Like,
do you think there's a chance that she and Max ever got married? Because like they're not that much. Yeah, there's not that big of a difference in their age. Especially if she was older. If she was like over 18, like. I don't know.
Like they always, I don't know. I really like their relationship. I didn't think it was like a super romantic thing.
Oh no, me either. But I'm just saying, since they had such a intense experience together, they're kind of bonded in a special way.
I've actually heard that the movie changes like the ending, so I have a feeling that they get married in the movie, but I don't know 100% sure. I've just heard that the ending of the film is so different.
Well, I mean, in the book, it's not told. It's not touched on at all. It's totally ambiguous. Yeah. She could be married to anyone. Can you just pretend it's Max?
Yeah, I mean, you know what they also could do in the movie? They could just make Rudy not die. No, I think he might not. He goes off, like, instead of going, his dad's switching, he goes off.
Mm-hmm. No, I think instead of Liesel being in the basement by herself, like, she should just have, like, a small gathering with her entire family and all her friends that night, so everyone is saved.
Oh, you mean in the basement?
Yeah.
I feel so sad. But yeah, no, like I just couldn't believe that the dad didn't switch places with Rudy, and they just brought Rudy to go to this school. So I'm just thinking, like, oh, they're just gonna make Rudy survive. I don't know. I haven't watched the end.
Yeah.
If you could. Oh, you have a question?
No, go ahead.
Marissa Elizabeth asks, if you could interview any of the characters, who would you interview, and what would you want to ask them? Probably Liesel.
I don't know, what would you want to ask her? We kind of saw her entire story.
Well, you know, I'd want to ask her how the rest of her life went.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I could go for that. I want to know more about Papa before he, like, when he was younger, and, like, what made him sympathize with, like, the Jewish people and stuff when everyone in society was telling him to not.
I feel like because he had such great friends that were Jewish in the war.
Yeah, we saw like that little snippet from World War I,
Yeah.
like connection to Max and stuff, but that can't be the only thing.
Yeah, I mean, but if you just live amongst people and some of them are Jewish, you know that they're not like the devil. I feel like it just depends on who you grew up around and what kind of community you were in.
Yeah. I mean, we would think that, but after Papa gives the old Jewish guy bread, like, he gets whipped and everyone in the town is, like, shunning him.
Yeah, but they know that they'll be in the same situation if they sympathize. That's the thing. It was like this fear, this community of fear where, like, you were too afraid to stand up, and it's Papa's ability to stand up against them under all that pressure that's really impressive.
Yeah.
Like, even his son, like, his son just is a Nazi.
That kind of leads to this question from Sarah Trent, and she asks, what do you think of Han's relationship with his biological children?
He only has one, right? It's only the son.
Yeah. I think. Was it only one?
Who's the girl, Trudy?
I thought she was like the housekeeper every time they met.
I wasn't super... No, has their last name. She's part of it. I think she's the daughter.
What did she do? I
don't feel like we were given much detail about her.
It's because she wasn't involved in their lives. Like, both Mom and Papa's children were, like, grown and, like, out of the house and stuff.
Yeah, but we heard more about the son, because he was like, why did you join the Nazi party, you coward? Like, get up, you're the coward, jerk face. God.
Yeah, his son was really frustrating.
He was out on the Russian front fighting to try to take over Moscow,
yeah.
Which they lost. Hitler. Okay. What character did you change your opinion on the most from start to finish? Asks Luke Campbell.
Probably the mom, because I mean, when she's first introduced, like, she's really, like, harsh and hard to, like, really like, but over time you grow to, like, enjoy her character more and, like, understand why she is the way she is.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, like, even never mind. I don't know where I was going that I haven't said before.
Mama is the most dramatic change from when you first meet her to how you see her in the end, because at first you just see, like, that bluntness and, like, kind of harshness of her, but you don't see that she actually is, like, a really caring person.
You know, even Rudy, actually, when we first met him, I didn't expect him to be at all what he turned out to be. He was like, he said mean things on, like, the soccer field, but then he went over to Liesel and wanted to be friends, you know? Yeah. But I wasn't expecting him to be such a great friend. I thought he would be kind of on the Nazi side. I thought it would kind of be like The Sound of Music with that Liesel. Her name's Liesel too, isn't it?
Yeah.
With that Liesel and her Nazi guy who was turned their family in or whatever he did. He was like, I thought.
Here's Canoe.
Yeah. I hate him. But that's what I was picturing, like that was going to happen. But he wasn't. He was, you know, against it. He stood up to it. Good.
I think that, in general, is just the most surprising thing. Like, you meet these characters, and they might seem like kind of like your typical evil stepmom type character, but then you realize that she's not. Like, I like that.
Zaukow. Wait, is that what it is? It's Zaukow, right? That's one. Yeah. That's one of the curse words. Zaukow.
Oh, I don't know how to say any of those words.
I've heard the guy say it a million times. Because But someone said, Wicked West Books said, do you have a better swearing vocab from this book? I definitely have a better German swearing vocab.
Yeah, definitely exposed me to more German swearing.
I can only remember Zaukel right now. There's one other one that they use all the time. It's just like Zau something else.
Just a lot of Zows.
It was the two versions. Like one is like a female cow and one is like a male cow, or like.
It was an asshole. It was like a bitch, a whore or something. Like it was like intense. Like when they said whore, like you little whore, I was like, oh my god, this 11-year-old girl. And she's like, yeah, I'm used to it. I get that all the time. God, I didn't know what a whore was.
It almost didn't surprise me because that guy, like that seemed like something that kind of character would do. But in the very beginning of the book, like someone called this 11-year-old girl like a slut or something. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
That's what got me, but like,
why on earth would you call the 11-year-old a slut ever? Like, she's a baby. It's like a baby girl is born. Look at this little slut.
Look at that slut. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine.
She just came out of the womb.
they shouldn't even know about that word.
No.
That's like a PG-13 word, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think I knew the word slut for a while. I feel like it was very...
Here, the Wicked West Books, she tweeted some of them. It says, Sauker, Salmensch, Arschloch.
Zalmensch is what they say all the time. And that must be Zalker, cow, that Zalker one.
Yeah, okay, I just read it.
Yeah, it says Zalmensch all the time. You little Zalmensch. Let's see. How long does this take you guys to read?
Like a week and a half, I want to say.
Yeah, I've been reading it all this week.
I read like 100 pages or so a couple weeks ago, and then I set it down because I'm a procrastinator, and I just finished it today.
Yeah, we all finished the book today, so this is a pretty fresh book for us.
Yeah, I finished it this morning. I was in tears. And then I started the movie, and I was in tears. I was in tears remembering the parts of the book. Like, the image of the mama with the accordion on the bed was exactly like the image that I had in my mind. And I was...
There was so much great imagery in the book. Like, that's what I'm looking forward to in the movie. Because I feel like even if they did change plot stuff, like, it's still a good-looking movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, they don't have... The thing is, they cut out a lot of the things, I feel like, that were... Like, I would love to see them painting on the wall in the basement.
Yeah. They have to have the book-burning bonfire scene, right?
They have the book-burning bonfire.
Did the movie win any like awards or anything?
No, it only got a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, I love the actor they chose to be the Hans. I forget his name right now, but it's the guy from The King's Speech, the speech therapist. You've seen him before. He plays like old men a lot, but he's like the perfect guy for it. So that's good. I just, like, she doesn't have her nightmares. He's not in her room.
It's not the same as the book, basically.
Not the same.
I have a good question here.
Yeah.
After reading this, are there any stories you wish had been told from the Death's point of view? And if so, what are they?
I mean, honestly, it was a little depressing and spoilery, told by Death. I don't know. The reason that I liked this so much is because that was so unique. It was appropriate for this story, though, too. Yeah.
It worked so well for this. Like, it was fantastic here. I
would never want to see Harry Potter told by Death. Like, no thank you. Thanks for spoiling the end. I
feel like not many stories would work told by Death.
I feel like A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness would do really well, like with the perspective of death.
I haven't read
that. I don't know if you guys have read that yet, but
yeah,
you should read it because it's really good.
Yeah, it worked really well during the war because it was interesting hearing his perspective. Like, he's so tired, and he's just always collecting bodies, he's always everywhere. And, like, usually when you think of death, you think of him being like, yay, more souls. But he was kind of humanized in the way that he's just looking at this as a job, and that he needs to come for these people, and he's sad for these people, and he's fascinated by them. And, yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think there was any feminism involved with this book, says Irina?
I mean, Lisa was like a strong female character.
Yeah, definitely. Especially for the time she was living in.
Most of the female characters were strong characters, like well developed. So.
Yeah. Mama, even, you know, and it's the woman, the mayor's wife. Like, she assumes that it's his study, but it's her study.
Yeah. And even the neighbor who spits on her doorstep every single day. Then we find out that she has 2 sons, and then, like, one dies, and it's too sad. I can't do it.
Yeah, no, that was really depressing. And Liesl kind of, like, talks to him and stuff. Like, they have, like, a little relationship, which is makes it even sadder. I guess we could take, like, 2 more questions, and then we can wrap up and talk about our next month.
Sounds good.
Get your last questions here if you have any.
Do you feel like the movie did justice for the book? We did not. This is from Isabel Livy. I'm the only one who's watched the movie so far, and I have half an hour left on it. But so far, I don't think it's justice to the book. It's a lot less gritty. It doesn't have all the intense parts that you really impact you from the book. It's, like, smoothed out.
That was a really great aspect of the book, is how it could, like, just hit you emotionally with so few words. Like, some of these is just like a gut punch.
The part when with Max walking with the Jewish parade, like, those parades of people, I had never heard about this. So they would parade the Jews that they caught, or the people who were already in the concentration camps. Like, what was that? I don't.
Because they were, like, transferring them between places, and, like, in between the transfer, they're like, let's just parade them through this town we have to walk through anyways. Remind people about the enemy.
That scene was just so heartbreaking when she found Max, and she just kept going into the crowd, and we knew she was going to get in trouble, but she kept doing it, and it was heartbreaking. I
mean, especially after that part, I feel like, was that where it got a little bit chronologically weird? Like, we learned that, like, the entire street gets bombed and everyone dies, and then we cut to that Max scene.
I don't know. This might have come before that, because Papa was just about to come home before. Yeah. I thought Papa was going to die right before he came home, and, like, that he had tricked us. But
I feel like death, like, spoiled enough of the ending that, like, I knew that everyone died, and then we, like, cut to that Max part that was, like, before. I don't know. Maybe I was confused.
I'm really happy Max didn't die. That's, like, my favorite part in the end. I was hoping that he'd make it the whole time, and he did. That was really nice. Let's see. Do we have another question?
I have one here from Justine, and she asks, do you think the cover was a good representation of the book? If not, how would you redesign it?
I like this cover because it feels like the book that they found in the river.
Not only that, but also the book when Max paints over the Maya.
Yeah, it feels like that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the new 10th anniversary edition.
New 10th anniversary edition. I like the inside of it.
Ooh, I didn't even look at the inside of it yet. I have the UK edition.
Ooh, that's a big edition.
Yeah.
I've never seen that one. Did any of you guys think the downfall of them? The whole time, as soon as he gave her that book for her birthday, I was like, oh my God, someone's gonna find that book, and that's how they're gonna find out. They're gonna be like, who drew this? Who is this? And, like, know that there's a Jew hiding in their basement and kill everyone. I was so afraid, and then it didn't come into play at all, really, with them being caught. But in the movie, of course, he finds the frickin' thing.
I don't, like, I wasn't that worried about Max being caught, except for that one really tense scene where they were like inspecting the basements. So I didn't expect him to leave so soon. Like after Papa like gave the bread and like called attention to himself.
Oh, that part was so sad.
Max had to go because they couldn't know for sure that like they weren't gonna come down and like search and stuff, which they ended up not doing. So like Max could have stayed.
Yeah. Oh, when Papa was like, when he was like, "What have I done?" and he was just really upset, and then Death like confirmed. He was like, "Yeah, what have you done?" It hurt. It was just like you're just confirming his fear that he just did something really bad, and you're like, "Yep, that was the wrong move." Oh, it was so upsetting.
I think it's more upsetting that like he narrowly avoided death and he came home and he died at home like a week after he got home.
I know. At least they were all like asleep and not like, I don't know,
Like
humming and horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's fine, whatever.
I mean, it's not fine, but would you guys read any more of Marcus's books? Yeah, what is the other one he has? It's like letters or something?
He has I Am the Messenger.
Oh, I Am the Messenger. Yeah, not letters.
I don't know if he has any other ones besides that.
He
Might, maybe.
must. There's another, I know there's another one, but I can't remember.
Somebody wants us to shout out their English class, so I think we should do that because they're tweeting us like crazy. So, hey, Mrs. Carola's English class.
From English class.
What's up, class? How's it going?
Oh, you're reading this for class. It's kind of like, I guess, when you read Number the Stars and stuff, but you guys are probably older, I think. This is like an older read than Number the Stars. I don't know. I guess we could. It's just it's big.
Yeah, it's long.
Big, yeah. Well, shall we reveal next one?
Let's reveal our next book of the month.
You guys ready?
Are you ready for this?
Here we go. It's gonna be fun.
It comes out March 9th?
March 8th.
March 8th. So get your copy and join us. We don't know when the live show is yet, but we'll let you know.
Let you know, but just know it's at midnight. Very exciting. Have any of you guys started it?
I haven't.
I haven't, because I'm not caught up with the series yet, but I will be by the time I read it.
I'm just a little bit in 164 pages, but like when you look at it, that's not much.
Kathy Clare book, so you finished chapter 1.
But we're all very excited about it. It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
Hopefully a little less of a downer.
Yes, and Cassie's Claire's, her books are just so much fun to discuss, so it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
It's a brand new series, so it'll be easier to jump into, hopefully, probably.
What?
Like, you should read the other books in the Mortal Instruments series first, but this is the first one in a new series, so.
Yeah, it definitely feels like when you're reading it, like she'll give little explanations about stuff that would be new to you if you hadn't read any of the books yet. But we see all characters around, so you want to read the other ones first if you can. That was our Book Thief live show. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I hope you had a good time. I'm really glad we finally read this book. If you guys read this because it's been on your shelf for a long time for the first time with us this month, yeah, I'm glad you finally read it too.
Yay.
And we'll see you next month.
Woo!
Bye.
Bye. I'm Christine.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Kat.
Goodbye.
Bye.